But there was two key themes in it, and they were: how much sleep do you need, and does caffeine affect your quality of sleep?
And also it was we mentioned about chronotype and me from that sleep specialist. Then
that's right.
So talking about the best times when to go to sleep and when you should get up. It's not about the amount. Again, a bit like quality versus quantity, kind of that kind of phrase. Is that it's not about having loads of sleep. It's about the right amount of sleep for your chronotype and the right time to go to bed till you get up, etc. So bear those things in mind as well.
Why is it easy to be so negative? Now, we covered some very interesting points in that. One of the main ones we actually talked about for most of the episode was sunlight in the UK, and that very famous statistic of people in the UK don't get enough sunlight, so they're vitamin D deficient, and it's just because it's so overcast all the time. And then we went into talk about how sunlight and vitamin D can affect your mood and your well-being, and just how important it is. It was episode 4, which was quality over quantity. We spoke about some really interesting stuff there. One of the main points was limiting down the projects you're working on so that you can put your absolute best into everything that you do. So it could be, say you're working on 5 projects at the moment, and it's sort of doing your head in a little bit. You can then look at which one you feel most passionately about, which one's going to be the most sensible one to do, just whichever one works out being the best to do, and then you drop the other ones for now. It doesn't mean you don't ever do them. You just stick them in the drawer underneath your desk and lock it and throw away the key for a bit. Episode 5, which was nutrition. Now, we discussed some really interesting points in here. The importance of good nutrition and your health and sort of your well-being and how it all affects each other. Now, talking about those challenges, I think it's time we move on to them. So, out of the 4 topics we've just spoken about, so sleep, why is it easy to be so negative, quality over quantity, and nutrition, we're gonna pick a challenge from each topic, and so there's 4 challenges in total, and we're both going to do 2 each, which I think that could be quite an interesting experiment, don't you?